Dr. Zogby, distinguished guests on the dais, awardees, ACC past presidents, Board of Trustees, Board of Governors, new fellows and associates of the college, ACC staff, members, guests, family, and friends. I wish to extend a warm welcome to all of you and acknowledge our new fellows and associates of the American College of Cardiology. We share your joy on the special occasion of Convocation, which marks the 64th anniversary of the founding of the ACC. Convocation is a ceremony of celebration, tradition, transition, and renewal. This evening's formal recognition of your many accomplishments is just the beginning of a lifelong relationship between you and the ACC. I thank Dr. William Zogby for his service to the college, and I look forward to following in his footsteps as president in support of ACC's mission to transform cardiovascular care and improve heart health. I extend my heartfelt thanks to so many of you in the audience, my family, especially my wife Ellen, friends who've traveled long distances, and colleagues. I acknowledge the memory of my parents, John and Ann Harold, and thank my relatives who have flown from Ireland to be here with me this evening. I'm grateful for the supportive environment that my office colleagues and leadership at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center have provided over the past 25 years. I also wish to acknowledge the presence of Mrs. Roma Swan, the spouse of my late mentor, Dr. Jeremy Swan. 40 years ago, in this very same city, Dr. Jeremy Swan was inaugurated as president of the college. Serving as ACC president is in itself an amazing honor, but to assume the same role in the same city as the one person who facilitated my career and journey with the ACC is even more rewarding. Indeed, it has been 40 years since the college last held an annual scientific session in San Francisco. My journey to this moment began when I was born to Irish immigrants, approximately 40 miles from this convention center in the small town of Petaluma. I subsequently grew up in New York City, attending Stuyvesant High School, and then joining the first class of the Sophie Davis Center for Biomedical Education for a 6-year BSMD program at the City College of New York. I later completed a 3-year internal medicine residency at the Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City under the direction of Dr. Richard Gorlin. During my training at Mount Sinai, I had the privilege of working with Dr. Simon Dack, an ACC past president and the founding editor of the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. Dr. Dack inspired me to enter formal cardiology training and introduced me to the ACC. In fact, I attended my first college meeting in 1982 when I was a 3rd-year medical resident at Mount Sinai. I arrived in Los Angeles in 1982 for cardiology fellowship training at Cedars-Sinai, which was truly an epicenter for cardiology leaders. Dr. Swan was one of these leaders. He received his medical degree from the University of London and worked with leading physiologists of the time, including Dr. Earl Wood at the Mayo Clinic. They both studied and refined techniques for measuring blood flow within and to the heart, in work that helped pave the way for future innovation. As director of the Mayo Clinic Catheterization Laboratory, Dr. Swan was an acknowledged international leader in vascular physiology and congenital heart disease. He came to Cedars-Sinai, then known as Cedars of Lebanon Hospital, in 1965, where he served as director of the Division of Cardiology for the next 22 years. He achieved further international recognition in 1970 when he and Dr. William Gans developed a balloon flotation catheter to measure cardiac output and pulmonary capillary pressure at the bedside. The introduction of the Swan-Ganz catheter triggered a critical care revolution in the management of intraoperative and postoperative cardiac surgery, burns, myocardial infarction, adult respiratory distress syndrome, and all forms of circulatory shock. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn." Dr. Swan will remain the person who most influenced my career path. He set an example of personal and professional integrity and was brilliantly innovative in research. He was visionary in building a world-class division of cardiology and involved me in clinical research and with his patients. He also involved me with both the local and national cardiovascular community, and from him, I learned about the need to focus on building for the future, the importance of philanthropy, and the importance of supporting the college. Most importantly, Dr. Swan modeled for me how to be a mentor. The French philosopher Bernard of Chartres said in the 12th century, "We are like dwarfs on the shoulders of giants, so that we can see more than they and things at a great distance, not by virtue of any sight on our part or any physical distinction, but because we are carried high and raised up by their giant size." Dr. Swan was my giant, a blend of a scientific cardiologist and compassionate physician and human being. He and I connected over our passion for cardiology as well as our common Irish heritage. He was born in Sligo, Ireland, during the years of the Irish Revolution. His parents were both physicians, and one of my favorite stories is of a house call he went on to treat the Irish poet William Butler Yeats. Indeed, Dr. Swan had an Irish wit and Irish temper, both of which I came to know only too well. From Dr. Swan, I learned that a mentor needs to be a good listener, engaged and willing to devote time to others, honest, trustworthy, and knowledgeable. A good mentor needs to be respected by his peers and able to connect on a personal and professional level. Dr. Swan excelled in each of these areas, and as a result, I learned more than I could have dared to hope during my 3-year fellowship and made connections in the cardiovascular arena that continue to serve me today. Dr. Swan touched the lives of several generations of cardiologists from all over the world who were inspired to live up to the high standards he espoused. Today, his legacy lives on in me and countless others who had the privilege to work with him. His legacy also lives through the college, and he is why I'm standing before you tonight. With a growing global obesity epidemic, heart and vascular disease remain the leading cause of death around the world. With the United States facing a serious shortage of cardiologists, great mentors like Dr. Swan are essential to our collective future. There is no doubt that we need more mentors than ever before. The American Heart Association's Mentoring Handbook notes that science and medicine are knowledge-based professions that require continual training and practice, and a mentor can play a pivotal role in making that process go more smoothly and quickly. If we are to be successful as a profession, it is our responsibility to act now and grow and foster the cardiovascular workforce to a level that will meet future demands. If we fail to do this smoothly and quickly, we will be unable to meet both the needs of patients and stem the growth of cardiovascular disease. Mentoring is a stage upon which cardiologists and others can not only share their own genuine excitement about all of the new discoveries and therapeutic possibilities that define their chosen careers, but also to share their excitement about the college and all of the benefits and opportunities associated with membership. While mentoring requires a great deal of effort and collaboration, the benefits are priceless. On a more micro level, the college is also reliant on mentors to grow future leaders. We need mentors to pass along the rich history of the college and involve the next generation of cardiologists and other cardiovascular professionals in shaping ACC programs, policies, and priorities to best meet their respective needs and the needs of those coming behind. The cardiovascular world and the broader field of medicine is changing rapidly. Mentors can help ensure a steady stream of future leaders are in the pipeline, ready to chart the college on a course that meets these changes on local, national, and global scales to transform cardiovascular care and improve heart health. Dr. Jeremy Swan was my mentor and friend. When I contemplate his legacy, I think of the poem A Psalm of Life by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. In 1949, the founders of the ACC envisioned an organization dedicated to providing its members with education and other services to improve the quality of cardiovascular care. From the outset, membership in the college was open to professional men and women actively engaged in practice or research relating to diseases of the heart and circulation. Almost 65 years later, the ACC has grown into a global professional cardiovascular society, serving over 43,000 physicians, nurses, nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, pharmacists, and practice managers. Our many initiatives in education, science and quality, advocacy, and member services are well suited to the vision of our founders. This rich history, coupled with the college's continuous leadership in the areas of education and lifelong learning, evidence-based science, globally recognized quality initiatives, and health policy efforts are why membership continues to grow and why the FACC and more recently AACC designations are valued and recognized worldwide. Looking forward, the theme of my presidential year is innovation in technology and education. I facilitated the development of an ACC digital strategy that will be one of the cornerstones of my presidential year and is aligned with this theme. A strategic roadmap has been developed to guide the college in the digital space over the next several years. This will be a comprehensive blueprint for the future, developed in partnership with member volunteers and staff, and focused on our shared mission to transform cardiovascular care and improve heart health. The new strategic plan will build on ACC's legacy as a global knowledge organization that continues to innovate and engage with its members in a mutually beneficial way. With the increased use of technologies such as smartphones and tablets, mobile devices are now part of our everyday lives. These technologies have become increasingly popular and will be transformative in our workflow, as well as in the way we communicate with each other globally. Networking and community building has become easier with the development of new digital technologies. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn allow us to more quickly disseminate breaking news, share case studies, and network with colleagues. The ACC in Touch blog has become a place for ACC members and leaders to talk about college endeavors, debate controversial issues, or provide perspectives on new research. President Kennedy said in his Rice Stadium speech on September 12, 1962, that man, in his quest for knowledge and progress, is determined and cannot be deterred. We choose to do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard, because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills, because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept and one we are unwilling to postpone. As the college's digital strategy further evolves, our objective is to have a structure in place that puts the college in position to meet the digital needs of members and patients now, but also be poised to take advantage of the inevitable changes in technologies that await us in the future. Before closing, I would like to acknowledge the participation of leaders in cardiovascular medicine from across the world on the dais. Many of you are inducted as fellows of the college this evening. The key to improving the quality of cardiovascular care worldwide is through collaboration. And that collaboration can only be achieved through active, meaningful dialogues between our sister societies. The college recognizes the importance of playing an active role in the global cardiovascular community, and thus has expanded on its core mission by developing an international mission to enhance global cardiovascular health through sustained collaboration and the exchange of knowledge and resources for cardiovascular care worldwide. The college looks forward to continued collaborative exchanges in the future. The French writer Antoine de Saint-Exupéry has said that as for the future, our task is not to foresee it, but to enable it. And a rock pile ceases to be a rock pile the moment a single man contemplates it, bearing within him the image of a cathedral. Tonight, I would like to honor the visionary leaders of the American College of Cardiology, such as Dr. Swan and all of our mentors. So many of them have graced the Convocation podium. Dr. James Dove, Dr. Simon Dack, Dr. Elliot Corday, to name but a few. We've come a long way since 1949, and I'm confident that the ACC's founders would be proud of what we have become and where we are going. Engagement with the college is an incredible place to start changing the landscape of cardiovascular care. I encourage you to volunteer with the college and become active in your local chapter and with the national ACC. Membership in the college is more than 4 letters after your name. It's both the foundation and the future of our profession. Your professional satisfaction lies in the joy of achievement and in the thrill of your creative endeavors. The future and the past demand nothing less of us. Tonight, I know that Dr. Swan is here with me in spirit. It is my hope that 40 years from now, someone will be saying the same thing about me. In closing, I wish to congratulate our new fellows and associates of the American College of Cardiology, and I wish you a wonderful and rewarding career as members of the cardiac care team. Good night and good luck.